What's up YouTube? Here we are with another awesome moto vlog. Today's going to be a super simple one. I'm just deciding that, prior to this car show that's coming up that I'm really excited about, I decided I really want to do a couple of things that I hadn't, done in a while, or not that I haven't done in a while, but there's a couple of things that I've been wanting to do and just hadn't got to. And so because this car show is pretty big, I really want to do a couple of changes, give the car a new look. So the thing that I'm talking about is tinting the headlights. I kind of wanted to go with a smoked out look on the headlights here. I ordered this headlight tint from VViViD Vinyls. They make some pretty good stuff. I'm normally a 3M guy, but the VViViD stuff seems pretty decent. And so one of the things that's interesting about this is I was reading it. It's called Air-Tint, and they are claiming that this does not need to be, it's the world's first dry apply tint. So I'm used to mixing up some soapy water and spritzing on the area and then kind of just using heat and water to get it in the right place. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a try with the dry apply and just kind of see what happens. Worst case scenario, if the dry apply doesn't work, then I'll use some water. Really all I did was I cleaned off the headlights, and I noticed there was some bug guts, the typical stuff that's on the headlights. Anyways, there was some stuff on there, and I decided I needed to get that off, and so I went ahead and did a clay bar. Here's the Chemical Guys clay bar. This is the gray one, which it's the medium, so medium clay bar, pretty decent stuff. I've used this on the entire car before in the past and have had good results with that. I use the clay bar from them and the clay luber, and so that just keeps the clay bar lubricated so that when you're sliding it across the surface it's not sticking. But essentially that clay bar, I went and I did it on both lights. That clay bar just removed any of the residual surface residue that was on there that the rubbing alcohol didn't get off when I first applied it. Got all those bug guts off. Want to get this surface as clean as possible so that we can apply the tint and not have any debris stuck behind it, because that'll certainly show and it'll just kind of hinder the quality of the results for the tint. So now that we got everything cleaned off, I didn't want to bore you with all of the cleaning, but I just wanted to explain exactly what it was I did. Clay bar, isopropyl alcohol to get all the lube off, and now we're ready to apply the tint. I'm just going to go ahead and cut a section that kind of fits over this general region. This roll was like 20 bucks, and it came with way more material than I'm ever going to need for tinting this car. Maybe I'll do the GX470 headlight tinting and maybe the taillights with this, but I'm not going to go trying to trim this out real detailed before I put it on. I don't want to kind of mess that up. Actually, you know what? Now that I say that, it may be kind of nice to try to get it a little bit more detailed so it has a little bit, if it's a square sheet trying to go on here, it might have some issues. So I think I might actually cut a big piece that'll definitely cover this area and then go through and kind of follow some of these angles, go a little bit wide, but start to get the general shape of the headlight going so that it does apply easier. So hopefully that will work. We'll try it out. I got plenty of this material in case we screw up. But yeah, I already have the quick jacks under the car because I've been doing this beautiful front lip, which is here. I did a color matched white front lip instead of the carbon fiber look. So if you're interested in checking that out, I've got a video that should be going live probably before this one. Of all the details of that, it was black. I ordered it in, I color matched it with the OEM Alpine white paint, and it looks freaking great. I am so ecstatic. I'm so excited about it. So yeah, check that out if you're interested. But without further ado, let's get this thing off the ground. Press the up button, and the car just kind of goes up in the air. It's pretty freaking cool. Alright, so now that we got the car up in the air, we have a nice, kind of turn this a little bit. We have a nice surface. It's right here at head height, or head height when I'm sitting here. The headlight's all clean and ready to be applied. I think I might go ahead and pop the hood here, because I would like to have the hood pop just so I can get up under this area here. Alright, so now that we got the hood up, I'm just going to kind of gauge what I think is about the length that I'll need for this. That gives a little bit more manageable of a piece to work with. And so really, we just need this and a heat gun, which for my heat gun I'm just going to be using a standard hair dryer, which is totally acceptable to use. Shouldn't need a whole lot of heat to get this thing wrapped right. May have to use a squeegee at the end of the day, but I'd like to try to do this without a squeegee. Others that maybe do this more often than me, maybe a little bit better than I am with a squeegee, but for some reason, every time I use a squeegee, I end up pushing too hard and damaging the material. So I'm going to put on some gloves to keep the oil from my hands off of there and from smearing it and potentially scratching it, because my hands are pretty dry from all the chemicals I've been handling lately. But I'm going to try to do this by hand. I like to be able to use my hands to form it. Your fingers have a little bit more dexterity than a squeegee, and so for like getting up in here, I think your fingers work really well to kind of push it in. For that last bit, a squeegee would be good to get in there, but like for this whole front face here, using your hands is perfectly fine to help mold that. So that's what I'm gonna do. Use what you prefer, but just wanted to let you guys know what I was going with. Note to self, peel this before putting on gloves. I can't get the freaking peel. Ah, I got it. Yes. I'm getting real reckless, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just beep. I think I'm just gonna start working this with my hands, seeing what I can do without heat first. I'm going to go and trim some of this so I can kind of work this in a little bit better. Got this fully kind of put on here, and there's a couple areas that I think need to be hit with some heat to get some of the air bubbles out. But for the most part, this looks pretty awesome. This stuff is very pliable and good to work with. The heat really helps it stretch and gives it a really good look. So I'm going to go ahead and get some something plastic. A squeegee probably would be preferable, but I can't remember if I have one around here. I'm going to get in along these edges and kind of tuck everything in and trim it, and then tuck it in, I mean, is what I'm saying. So go along there with an X-Acto knife and just kind of trim everything up and then tuck it in around the edges. tucking everything in. I need to go through and clean this with Windex so that I think my fingerprints are all over it, but it looks really good. I'm actually really stoked about this look. Like, I might stand back a little bit. Gives it a pretty mean looking front end look, in my opinion. So I was pretty stoked about that. And then I'll show you what else I did. Is I took some black vinyl over here. God, it's a freaking mess in this garage. I just took a sheet of black vinyl that I had laying around. One of the things that was bothering me was right here. I trimmed and followed this line here. It was bothering me that all of this right here was silver, and I felt like it would look really weird with this abrupt kind of stop or line here. So I actually filled this whole area in with black vinyl. Still need to get some of the air bubbles out in there, but now we've got a nice hard line to black, and with the hood up now, I think it gives it a much cleaner look to that area, being blacked out now. Like, you got metal here, and then this was all silver, matching the headlight, blacked out. I think it looks good. I'll show you on the other side what I'm talking about. This whole area here, it's just silver. Alright, so as you can see right here, it was silver in this whole region. Right there. This is all silver. And so over here, it is now blacked out, which I think looks a lot better and cleaner. So I'm going to go ahead and just time lapse doing this side. Alright, so that does it for the tinting of the headlights. What do you guys think? I think it makes the front end look so freaking cool. It was a very simple thing to do, and this stuff works a lot like wrap, so it is nice that it stretches really well. Definitely highly recommend using heat. Heat was by far my friend in getting it to stretch over these weird curvatures. And so use a hair dryer. That was more than enough. I didn't need some fancy heat gun, just a hair dryer works fine. And wow, the white with the dark lights, the dark carbon down here, and the Euro plate, the blacked out grills, like, I think it completes the look of the front end. I would say that this is probably in the best state that I've had this car as far as my own personal opinion on the way it looks. I think it looks so freaking cool. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a comment down below. Let me know if you actually like the headlight tint or if you think it's tacky. I used to think it was tacky, and for some reason, like 2 months ago, I decided I wanted to tint them. So let me know what you guys personally think of the tint. You think it needs to stay or go? But without further ado, let's drop this thing down off the lift and take it outside in the sunlight and see what it looks like. That does it for today's video. I know it was a simple one, just doing some tint. Wanted to give you a little bit of a kind of like day in the life, getting things going, getting ready for the car show. That was kind of my intent here, was to show off a little tint video, which wasn't too detailed. It was just kind of like, hey, this is what I'm doing to the car, check it out. Do a little detail and then getting ready for the event. So tomorrow's the event, BMW Invasion up in Melbourne, north of me just a little bit, about 25 minutes away. So pretty stoked about that. I feel like tomorrow's going to be such an awesome day with like 700 plus BMWs. So we'll see what tomorrow has to bring. I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.